going. Their attorney is here, Barry Van Sickle, and he'll be happy to talk to you about that.
Why are you all coming together
Today, well, it's the second anniversary of the anonymous movement, and we thought, well, let's mark that in some special way, and that's really why we all gathered together to tell these stories today.
Okay, so this is completely separate and apart from the law.
Right.
This
Right.
is very similar to something that happened in Australia, non-identified. Are you aware of that?
Yes. I didn't put it together. I would say that that it probably is a motivating factor. There was also a big thing in Hamburg last year too, where Jeff was part of that, I believe, right? No, you were? Oh, Mark was. Mark Headley was. So this has been popping up from time to time. We're thrilled that we can get the word out anyway.
How many of the individuals who spoke, were any of them interviewed for this in Petersburg Times article, or have you been spoken out before?
Jeff was. You want to talk about that, Mark? Oh, you can't. But Jeff, you want to speak about that quickly?
Yes, what was the question?
Oh, I just wondered if any of the individuals who spoke had previously been interviewed for the St. Petersburg Times series or any other big newspaper.
Yes, I was. I was interviewed for St. Petersburg Times, and I know Mark was as well, and other people that are not here. But there are a lot of people speaking out now. More and more people are speaking out because it's becoming safer to do so. They can't pretty much go after everybody. So.
Why do you think there's kind of this momentum now?
Because it was partly due to the anonymous movement, because they started these pickets, and that absorbed a lot of church attention, and it also made it safe for individuals to then step forward and say, I was abused, I was abused. That started happening, and then that started snowballing with more and more people speaking out, and now it has become very, very safe to speak out against the church because, like I say, they can't go after everybody. And in previous years, there were so few people speaking out that they could, narrow in on those few people, follow them with private investigators, and harass them until they shut up. And now it's just becoming very, very widespread. And part of the reason for that, I think, is because the church itself is disintegrating.
I'll just tell you exactly in my case. I gave you some of the details concerning my employment history with the Scientology organization, and basically what's happened is I brought a lawsuit. My case was filed last year, and my case is basically saying that they've broken the labor laws, and they're involved in human trafficking. And my wife has also brought a case against them for coerced and forced abortions, as well as violations of the labor laws and human trafficking. And essentially, what's occurring is that they're producing products, and they're employing people. They're telling the people that work for them, their employees, that they're volunteers and that they don't have to be paid, and they're not paying these people. The reason why I get followed by private investigators, and they've spent millions and millions of dollars fighting my case, is that currently they have 5,000 employees worldwide. They pay each of those people $50 a week. If they were found in violation of labor laws and they were enforced with the Scientology organization, their weekly pay of $250,000 that they spend on labor would go up to nearly $4 million a week, which is, $200 million a year. So this is a very big deal. There's a lot at stake. When I first came out and I first started speaking, I was maybe one of a handful of people that had spoken out against them. And in the years that I've been speaking out against them, I've experienced insane amounts of harassment and intimidation. And the fact that more and more people are coming out, they're getting spread thinner and thinner. And like Jeff said, they can't go after everybody. Now there's approximately anywhere from 20 to 50 people that are now speaking out. And this is occurring in America, this is occurring in Germany, this is occurring in Australia, this is occurring in Europe. It's basically, there's basically the exact same thing. Scientology only has one set of policies, and those are applied worldwide. So if it's happening here in Hemet, California, it's happening in Los Angeles, it's happening in Sacramento, it's happening everywhere. So that's basically, that's what's happening with the cases. The cases are scheduled for a November 2010 trial date right now. That's my case specifically. There are another 3 cases that have been filed against them that are very similar to mine. And yeah, they've hired the best labor attorneys money can buy, multiple firms to represent them in their various organizations. And this is definitely not over.
In Australia, is the percentage of example of that to on the vote in the federal parliament, but the Senate inquiry?
Yeah, there's basically
Would they be investigating the same Church of Scientology goes outside of the world? Does the church know about that? Would they be managing it from church?
I'm not aware of how that works, but all of the money from all of the various organizations around the world all goes to the top. So if they're fighting or they're inquiring into Scientology in Australia, they're most definitely inquiring the exact same people that run the organization here in Los Angeles and everywhere around the world.
Why don't we pause the Q&A?